So let me try and bring a different perspective from a business user perspective. So I represent payment industry, and everything that we do is depending on data and internet connectivity. Our own organization does more than close to 500,000 transactions every day. All are through data. Many of them are actually through mobile phones. So we do see, so it's like glass half full or half empty. We have to keep debating every day. It's full because you could reach the places which otherwise you cannot reach. So we also work with consumers who have direct connectivity. They can download the app and do the payment transaction. But then there are a lot many consumers, while they may have a smartphone but don't have a data connectivity, or still on the feature phone, considering the way the Indian population is. So what we end up doing is we identify locations where at least data connectivity is available, at least the basic broadband. If somebody has to do simple thing like train ticket booking, you need to have some level of a bandwidth. You still can't do it with the basic GSM kind of a connectivity or H kind of a connectivity. तत्काल ticket तो उसको जिंदगी में नहीं मिलेगा उसपे. So we need to have certain minimum level of bandwidth available in each city. So today we have been able to reach about close to 5,000 locations where a center is open, consumer can walk in, and at least they can request transaction, and this particular outlet does a transaction depending on the connectivity. Our experience has been that while it expands the business and as the data connectivity improves, we can keep going interior and interior. However, what we see is the reliability and a consistency continuously to be the issue. Also, there are fluctuations in terms of peak times. Also, one big thing as an industry body we keep seeing, and I'm sure you're aware, we keep discussing in our every discussion about the mobile being the primary vehicle to drive financial inclusion as well as payments. But none of us really seriously discuss the real data connectivity issue. And sir, being in a UIDI, I'm sure you're aware, we were also running a pilot using Aadhaar, a wallet-to-wallet money transfer, where a biometric authentication can be done even if the other person does not have, let's say, a bank account. You can send money from wallet to wallet with Aadhaar authentication, and you can take the money out. So while that pilot we did, I'm sure if you remember that time, somehow that had to be stopped midway. The reason wasn't Aadhaar. The reason was probably the connectivity in the interior. So while in the metro cities we could find a way to authenticate transaction, send the money in, at the rural area when he had to go to collect money. Now the problem is you have to first identify which is your best finger, which is your fusion finger if it is not the best finger, and if he has to do 10-finger detection over that kind of a connectivity, after a few attempts the outlet simply gives up, or a customer simply gives up. So there is an aspiration in the entire payments and financial services world to leverage this whole data and internet connectivity in a big way. In every discussion, whether it's a UPI, I have to remind journalists continuously that UPI is a great tool, it will happen, but please do not forget it is for smartphone. It is for people, add on that with the mobile banking connections. It's not for everyone still. So there is a huge opportunity. The issue that we continuously see, and I think we need all of us also as a business user a lot more details, and actually I was also happy to see this data now available. We can also probably start looking at that more carefully when we plan even, let's say, the national rollout of certain program, which pockets you really have what kind of a connectivity, therefore what solution and services can be rolled out, and what is the real of that billion connections, the real potential target, depending on the app-based, non-app-based, USSD, which services you really need to use to deliver the last mile service. So I think it's an opportunity, but at the same time, most of the people just talk about 1 billion number, they forget this aspect completely, which puts a lot of burden, which creates a lot of schemes and solutions which actually end up failing. A lot of fintech companies today don't know about this. They assume that, okay, because we have 4G connections sitting in, right in Bombay, it works beautifully. I think I will be the next, probably Bill Gates out of India by using data connectivity. As they get into the business, then they realize, oh my God, it doesn't work. In fact, in our survey, we realized in our, so we do large number of mobile transfer, money transfer transactions. These are labor guys. They have at least 1 to 3 connections, each one of them. They sift depending on who's the cheapest. 60% of the population don't know their mobile number. So when we look at this gap, how do we kind of, when we work on other policy initiatives, how do we also work more closely with TRI? And I think this initiative about having more visibility on a quality of service. While we also a consumer company, we know that in India, quality of service is a huge cultural challenge also for all of us. I think when it comes to consumer, we want all the rights. When it comes to a business side, I also run a business. We always put it under the carpet. जैसे अच्छा आपको सर्विस तो मिल रही है, क्या प्रॉब्लम है, देख लेंगे. This is a challenge. I think as a country we have this change management issues. We have to all work. I actually liked your suggestions, Nilji, on this roaming. Why should it be not? I mean, intercity. Why can't it be intracity? If it works in intercity, why can't it work intracity? And probably the commercial reward going to the operator automatically will create competition to get more and more transaction.